Hey guys, Laura Lisa here. So glad to be spending some time with you. I'm going to be doing my informative speech today on a program called ACOA, also known as ACA. That stands for Adult Children of Alcoholics and Other Dysfunctional Families. This is a 12-step program. It's a brand new program that I've been looking into, that I'm very interested about. And it's right along the same vein as all the other 12-step programs that I've also been a part of. So in my speech today, I'm going to briefly share with you about this particular program. I guess the first thing to start with is to kind of go over what the 12-step program is, and probably the easiest way for me to do that is to read to you what the 12 steps are of this particular program. Step 1. We admitted we were powerless over the effects of alcoholism or other family dysfunction, that our lives had become unmanageable. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. That is step number 2. Step number 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him or her. That's step number 3. Step number 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step number 4. Step number 5 was admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. That's step number 5. Step number 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. That's step number 6. Step number 7, humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. Step number 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Step number 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. And then step number 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Step number 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood God, praying only for knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry that out. And then step number 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others who still suffered and to practice these principles in all our affairs. So those are the 12 steps pretty much that are outlined in all of the 12-step programs. The 12-step programs, I know in these steps it talked about God a lot, but it also, what they try and emphasize is to find a higher power, basically, something just bigger than us. People find different places and different things for their higher power. Some people find it in the universe, sometimes they find it in other people, sometimes they find it in a relationship with their God. Some people find it through different religions. But it's based on a spiritual background, something bigger than us. And in my personal experience, this is a new program for me. I've had experience with the 12-step program in other programs regarding alcoholism, drugs, sex, food, shopping, pretty much any of the codependency, anything that I've abused, I've kind of tried to work through in these programs. I've been in the program probably since about 2005, so about 15 years. And so this is a brand new one for me. I have worked through the 12-step program over the past 15 years, and I've been sober for about 10 years. But what I found is that I still struggle a lot with personal relationship, and so I was introduced to this program as just to try and help me to try and like have healthier relationships with the people around me and the people in my family, and new people as well. It's something that I've always been challenged with. So I'm very intrigued with this program because it kind of digs into background and trauma and growing up in a dysfunctional family and trying to find ways to become healthy and learn how to navigate relationships in a healthy way. So, this is pretty much very new to me. This is about all I know about it right now. I do know that it works along the 12 steps, and all the 12-step programs are very similar. Pretty much the only difference in the 12-step programs is in the very first step. It says we admitted we were powerless over the effects of, and that could be alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping, food, relationships. In this case, family dysfunction. So that is the very, very first step, and that's where you can apply what I've applied, whatever's happening in my life, into that line. And so I'm very excited to kind of dig into this new book. They offer a red book. In the other programs, there's, a big book, which is blue, for alcoholism. There's an NA book for Narcotics Anonymous. There's a CODA book for codependence. And they have, I think they have several different books for the 12-step program. So in kind of wrapping it up and kind of concluding what I've been talking about, this speech is about ACOA, that's Adult Children of Alcoholics and Other Family Dysfunction, also known as ACA. This is a international program. Right now, because of COVID, most meetings are being held online in a Zoom format, which has been really, really helpful. And that's about all I got today. I thank you all for your time and your consideration, and I look forward to watching all of your speeches and finishing this class out with y'all. All right, you take care now.